Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Nevada 5 from our Privilege collection. You can see here that it's a tunnel design tent which is aimed to sleep up to 5 people. It has 2 bedrooms across the back and a good sized living space, all of which we will show you from the inside shortly. But first I just want to take you through the features on the outside of the tent. So we'll start off with the fly sheet that we're using on here. This is our Outex 4000 material. This is a good quality taffeta polyester which has fully taped seams throughout, and it also is fully PU coated on the inside as well, and that gives it a hydrostatic head of 4,000 millimeters, making sure that it is completely waterproof. It's also fire retardant as well, and it has been UV treated to make sure that it's going to last for a good long time under UV degradation or under sunlight. In terms of the frame that we use on the tent, from front to back, we're using our Duratec fiberglass poles. So these are what they look like. So they look a little bit different to your standard black fiberglass poles, and that's to highlight that these poles actually all have a protective sheath around the outside of them, which is going to make them that little bit more stronger and a bit more resistant. If you do manage to break one of these, then they are designed so that they split, so they should still be usable or easily repairable in comparison to like a black fiberglass pole, which could just shatter into bits, of course damaging the fly sheet. So really good quality fiberglass poles on here. They're also colour coded as well, which you won't be able to see from here. We have one of the poles at the back which is a little bit shorter, so we do colour code that to make sure that you get the right pole in the right place when you're pitching it, making it nice and easy. Some other features then, we're using our wind stabiliser on this tent as well, so you can see just here how this works. So when you're setting the tent up, all you have to do is simply wrap this around the pole like this and attach into position. You'll find that there is one at the top and at the bottom of all the poles all the way around the side of the tent, and this is then where we attach our guy lines. So once we take the guy lines out and peg them into place, that pulls the entire fly sheet against the frame of the tent, making it much more stable and much more wind resistant. So in terms of bad weather, this tent will stand up to quite a lot because, as I say, it's totally waterproof with a hydrostatic head of 4,000 mil, and of course nice and sturdy with our wind stabiliser on here as well. So a good feature on this tent is this rain safe entrance on the side here, and that's in place using again a Duratec pole. So you can see here that this is going to give shelter into this side entrance of the tent, so instead of using the front door, we can actually use this side entrance when it's a little bit more wet, and that's going to give you protection over the ground sheet there. We then also have large windows all the way around the tent as well, so it's going to allow lots of light in here, making sure that it feels nice and spacious. So of course, using our Outwell DNA here, we have our luminous guy lines all the way around the tent, so they are a little bit brighter. Hopefully that's going to stop you from tripping over them when it gets a little bit darker outside. Each one of these guy lines also has its own retainer, so when it comes to packing the tent down, you'll find that we have these Velcro loops which are attached just here, and these you can roll up the guy lines and pop in there, so the next time you use the tent, the guy lines are easily accessible. So round at the front of the tent here, you can see that we have a really good front door, good size front door rather on here. So nice and wide, easy to get all your kit in and out of the tent, and also a good height as well. So something I want to point out is just the level of detail that we go to make sure that this tent stays completely waterproof. So when the outside door here is rolled down, I just want to highlight what is happening behind the cover, which sits across these zips here. So you have one layer of protection, of course, when that door is rolled down. Then what you'll see is we actually have a fold in the material here, which is going to encourage water to run away and down from this zip here. If it does get through here, then there is then a secondary piece of material, again with another channel, allowing water to run down and away from the zip. But we also tape these zips as well on the inside here, of course ensuring that this area is totally waterproof. So you can see here, as I mentioned there, the door is rolled away at the moment, but what I want to highlight is just behind this door we actually have a full mesh door, which we have rolled away again here. So what that will allow you to do is keep this outside waterproof door rolled up, but then drop down and zip into place a full mesh door, allowing for great ventilation within the tent. When you're actually in the tent itself, there's certainly plenty of space in here. As I mentioned before, there's large windows around the front here and on the side doors as well, and on the front door. So when that door is closed, you're going to get good views. But the nice thing about these windows is it allows lots of light into the tent to make it feel nice and spacious. So each of the windows all the way around the tent, including the windows on the doors, all have their own individual curtains, just like this one here, which is rolled away at the moment. But what we do have is toggle points halfway up, so you can bring the curtain either there, or of course you can completely close it to the top as well. It's a good height in here as well. I'm quite tall at about 1.95 m, and I can stand up throughout this tent as well. We have two side entrances here. I've already highlighted one from the outside over here with the rain safe. On this side, I just want to then highlight that all of the doors within this tent actually have full mesh panels, just like this one. So again, we can zip these closed and keep the waterproof door open on the outside to allow for really good ventilation within this tent. In terms of the ground sheet, what you'll find is from the front to the back and side to side, it is completely sealed. So you're not going to have any drafts, because you can see that it actually comes up around the sides. So it is a bathtub style. So no drafts coming in. It's going to keep out things like dirt, dust and sand, and more importantly, hopefully keep out those unwanted bugs as well. So just at the front of the tent, in a good central location, which you'll struggle to see from the angle that we're at here, we do have a lantern hanging point. Now, running both ways away from that, we have cable tidies which run down this seam here, and they both lead to cable entry points just like this one here. So you can see here we have a small zip which we can open up and bring power into the tent through here without having to have this door zipped open. So at the back of the tent is where the bedrooms are situated, and as I said, there are 2 bedrooms here that can sleep up to 5 people. Now, a really nice feature in these bedrooms is that they actually come pre-attached, so that's a job that you don't need to worry about. They're already in place for you. They also have quite a lot of great features as well. So we have some handy storage pockets on the outside here. We also have some ventilation panels on the doors as well, so that's going to keep you nice and comfortable within the bedrooms. In here, we'll also then see that we have some handy storage pockets along the side here, so that's going to be great for things like phones or chargers and magazines and things like that. Across the back, we have a large ventilation panel, which corresponds to a panel on the fly sheet. And then separating the 2 bedrooms is this large zippable piece of material here, which of course you can then zip up to create one really large bedroom across the back. So we have a few optional extras available for this tent. That would be a flat woven carpet for the living area in here, just giving you a little bit more comfort underfoot. There is also a footprint available to go underneath the ground sheet of this tent, which is going to keep the ground sheet here clean and dry on those wet and muddy days. And for those who want some more outside storage or living space, we also have a front extension that will fit onto this tent, and there is also an awning as well for those who want to be able to close the front. So there you have it then. That's all the features of the Nevada 5 from our Privilege range. Thank you very much for watching.